All right. Well, I'm using a little bit different mic this time, so I'm guessing that you can hear me just fine. But anyway, it's got a desk stand on it, so it's not right by my mouth. In fact, I didn't see the little green flashing. Anyway, I also realized that I've recorded a couple of videos for my phone, and those videos are not showing up on this. I think that put them on my personal YouTube video or YouTube account. You may also, I look a little, I realize I look like I've just woken up. I haven't just woken up, but anyway, I'm also in a little bit different place. I'm at a friend's condo, actually. She's out of town for the next week. And anyway, I was completely just wiped out last week. I'll see if I can get those videos over so you can just kind of follow the conversation between me and the listener or viewer. But anyway, so I put out on Facebook, I was just like, look, is there just a place where I can go and kind of find a quiet place to get some stuff done? Because I need to finish up my course on how to find a job. I've been trying to get to it. And I thought, okay, well, if I get away for a couple of days, I can just finish it off. Well, it turns out after last week that I needed some real downtime. And so yesterday I really didn't do a whole lot. Today I have Ruby Rogues in about an hour and JavaScript Jabber later this afternoon. Then I'm probably just going to head home. But yeah, so I borrowed her condo. I just crashed here for the last 2 nights. It's funny because I'm like 15 minutes from my house. But it just kind of got me to a different place and let me just kind of sit around and not do a whole lot, which has been a really positive thing. So, yeah, it's kind of been a nice break, and it's kind of given me the mental space to figure some stuff out. Not that I was necessarily like sitting here pondering some of the things that I've been trying to think about, but mostly just, just like, okay, well, do I need to worry about this? Do I need to worry about that? Is this a big deal? Is that not a big deal, etc.? And anyway, I'm feeling really good about a lot of things. So anyway, it's been a pretty positive thing. So at this point, yeah, I'm just kind of taking it easy and reflecting on some things. I'm also working on 12-week year, which is basically a planning program for 3 months at a time. And essentially what you do is you set a goal and you plan out what your actions have to be in order to get the goal done. You plan them out through the 12 weeks and then you succeed. So anyway, things are looking pretty good there. One other thing that was interesting that I noticed here over the last little while is I've had people signing up for React Remote Conf. And I still don't have any speakers listed. I also realized that I don't have the right dates on it because I can't do it the week that it's showing up as, because I think I'm going to be out of town that week. So yeah, just looking at it and going, okay, so what's the story here? And I realized that when people follow me on Twitter, they get a message that says, hey, have you checked out React Remote Conf? It's been up since last year, and I've been having people buy tickets. So I'm probably going to change the date, let the people who bought a ticket know, and then I'm going to find some speakers and make it happen in November. So anyway, that was just kind of an interesting thing. And so I'm wondering what kind of interesting things would come out of, changing it over so that it's Angular Dev Summit or Ruby Dev Summit. So I'll think about that as well. But anyway, and then one other thing is that, yeah, I'm just trying to decide what the best or what will make the biggest impact on things is. So I've considered putting together a different homepage for devchat.tv. And so instead of having it just list the shows, it'll be basically, hey, are you a new listener? You can subscribe to the shows and then list them that way. But then on the other side, say, hey, do you want to, I don't know, are you looking for conferences and conference talks? Are you looking for some of these other things, and just make it easy for people to find what they're looking for? And then the last thing, and this is one of the things that I did get some clarity on, and it's something that I've really been thinking about. And that is, my business coach yesterday mentioned that I need to get my mission figured out. My why. And I it's one of those things that I have done over the years. Um, and I kind of had it down and had it together. It's like, well, I help people, help programmers, do better in their careers and stuff like that. But um, you know, I feel like if you're gonna get down to a real reason for why you're doing what you're doing, it should be something that really just gets you going. It gets you excited. I didn't have it. I was like, I help people, and that's just not a kind of a hell yeah kind of thing that gets me excited. And at the same time, I go to the conferences and stuff and I meet people, and um, there are some people that seem to be missing something one way or the other, right? So they're not happy with their career, they're not happy with their life, they're not happy with something, right? Or they come and they instead of asking for advice, they come and they basically say, I listened to your show and you talked about a thing, and that made a difference for me. And but even then it was like, you know what, so I helped some people write better code, or I helped some people feel better about their life. But even those things, it feels good and it's important, and it gets a lot closer to that hell yeah, that I'm excited to make a difference for people. But it's at a different level than, oh, you write better code. Which I also care about, but it just doesn't feel like it has the kind of impact that I feel like I really need to be making. So, as I thought about it, I realized that I really want to have more of a holistic impact. In other words, I don't want to just help people have better careers or write better code, but I really want people to live better. I want them to be happy. I want them to just, I guess, is to have a better life. And I know that we spend a lot of time in our careers. When I was a full-time employee working for people, I spent most of my day at work, not at home, not with my kids, not with, whoever, the places where I feel like are most important to me, with my wife and my kids. But, I spent most of the day at work. And so, it has a major impact on your quality of life. And I also realized that I really want to help programmers live better, like have better lives. And I know that we kind of put walls up between the different parts of our lives sometimes. My wife didn't always know all of my coworkers, and I don't know if that was necessarily a necessity, but at the same time, it's living the kind of life, having the kind of career that supports the kind of life you want to have. It's finding the balance between the different aspects of life so that you can live the kind of life you want to have. So if code is your passion, then great. Here's how you live a great code-centric, passionate life. And if your passion is somewhere else, then, well, hey, here's how you have a terrific career that's going to support your life so you can do the other things that are important to you. And that gets me excited. I've probably, had a change in body language and things like that here, but that's the kind of thing, and the shows tend to focus a lot on technology. And I don't know that I necessarily want to change that, but I'm seriously thinking about pulling together another show where we just talk about code as a part of a larger life, or a larger life mission, so that people can get out of their career and out of their life what they want. And I don't know that it's necessarily important that people feel like, well, I'm a coder, so that's what I do, as much as people just figure out what it is that makes them tick and then do that. So anyway, as far as any of this goes, that's just been an interesting kind of aha moment for me. And then one other thing that I've been thinking about and I'm trying to decide, because this is more about just, hey, I learned these things and I've gotten to these places, and there are some debates that are happening out there, with the Google memo or manifesto. I've heard people call it both, and things like that, where I feel like I ought to weigh in, but I don't necessarily want to get dragged into the middle of the big fray that's around it, right? Because a lot of people, they see that the guy at Google said things they don't agree with, and so it's kind of scorched earth policy with anything and anyone that says that they might agree with anything that has to do with it. And then there are people who are tired of getting yelled at, and so they get out there and they yell at the other side. And then there are people who are on the other side of things, that it's scorched earth policy, where nothing he did was wrong. And there's always nuance to that. And I always feel like when I jump in the middle and say, hey, look, here's, let's be reasonable about this and talk about, the different parts of this and see if there's anything to learn from it, it seems like people get ticked off. And so I don't know if I want to get dragged in the middle of it, but I feel like it's an important debate. So I'm kind of going back and forth on that. So, and I to a certain degree, I agree with both sides, but I'm not going to get into the finer points of it. So anyway, I'm trying to decide if I want to get involved in that. I may actually just see if I can pull together people from either side and actually, have a discussion about it and see where people are coming from with this, so that it's not just well, you're a jerk. Okay, well, you're a jerk too. And instead make it into, okay, what are the actual points here? What's the meat behind what you're saying, right? What causes you to think the way that you think? And, maybe there are some principles that we can't agree on. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not the kind of person that really wants to get dragged into the debates, and I like to think through things before I say stuff, which means that the second that I can do that initially, but once I do that, then what happens is then people get up, they get all up in arms, and then, they'll post a comment or something, and then I feel like I have to think on my feet, which is not a terrible thing, but I'm much more comfortable sitting down and kind of reasoning out where I'm at. Especially in the cases where there are things that I haven't really thought through, because they're almost always arguments one way or the other that I hadn't really considered, which is one of the things I like about having this kind of a debate. So anyway, I don't know. I'm trying to decide. If you have thoughts on whether or not I should jump into this mess or not, let me know. You'll also notice that's kind of the way that I handled the Ruby Rogues breakup, I guess you could call it, last year, is I just let them say their piece. I didn't get in and argue it. Mostly because I didn't want the trolls to get dragged into a debate around something that, was basically between me and 5 other people. So anyway, still debating that. I still stand behind a lot of the people on both sides of the argument that have expressed opinions, mainly because I think they're trying to, in a lot of cases, just have the conversation. But yeah. Anyway, so that's that. I'm still having an internal debate as to whether I want to get into the public debate. But yeah, and then just nailing down a lot of the details with the Angular Dev Summit coming up in a month and things like that, and just trying to figure out some of that stuff as well. So anyway, we'll see how that all works out. I'm also trying to define what success looks like for Angular Dev Summit. I'd like to see a certain number of people either sign up or make a certain amount of money, and then I just need to kind of figure out, okay, where's the sliding scale on this, right? Am I looking for more financial backing or the other? And then I'm probably going to shave this week. Things have just been nuts, and that's one of just trying to figure out when I'm going to get around to that. Just But I'll probably shave this week and actually get the videos done for the React podcast and the Elixir podcast, and maybe for a career podcast. So anyway, yeah, those are kind of my thoughts today. I rambled a little bit. I think it was reasonably easy to follow along with what I'm thinking. I've had 2 viewers on here the whole time. I think it went up to 3 for a minute, but anyway, if you have thoughts on any of this, feel free to comment. I'm really curious, especially on the issue of, getting involved in the public debate. I know that if I do express my opinion, that some people are going to just hardcore come after me. And I don't know that I really care. I mean, if you're going to come after me for my opinion, they better be my opinions, right? Anyway, but yeah, and then if you're kind of in a place where you want to chime in with anything else, I really appreciate feedback. And yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. I'm probably actually going to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow and do my routine as normal. Tomorrow is the first day of school for my kids. And so there's going to be a little bit of settling in with some of that stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. And I'm glad that my new mic worked. I've actually had this for a little bit. I know somebody's going to ask. This is the portable mic that I take with me when I travel. And it's an Audio-Technica ATR 2100. And a few things that I like about it, just to throw it out there, is you can see that it has a USB cable, which is what it's hooked up with right now. It also has the XLR connector, so I could connect it to my mixer and things like that. And then this is actually a volume control, and I think this is a headphones jack, so I could actually plug my earbuds or something into it. But since I'm talking to you and I'm not hearing you back, I'm probably not going to worry about that. Anyway, but yeah, I'm probably also going to start doing product reviews. I'm trying to figure out getting down to VMworld at the end of the month. And so I've been talking to a few friends to see if I can crash on their couch for a night or two. If you live in Las Vegas and you have an idea, I'd love to hear it. And if you live in Las Vegas and you have like a tech meetup or something else that you think I'd be interested in coming to, that would also be cool. Like I said, it's that last week of August. So I'll probably be down there the 26th through like the 1st of September. Anyway, thanks again. I'm going to sign off. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye.